Hello guys, in today's video we are going to see how to derive Nernst equation and what is the need for equation like Nernst equation and how to derive equilibrium constant from Nernst equation, and also what is the relationship between electrochemical cell and Gibbs free energy of the reaction. Now let's see one by one. In the previous videos, when we talked about reduction potentials, we used the word standard electrode potentials. And we defined what is the standard electrode potential when we measure the electrode potential under standard conditions of temperature, which is 298 Kelvin, and for 1 molar concentration of the ions in solution, then we call that as standard electrode potential. And the values that we have seen in electrochemical series are also measured for the temperature 298 Kelvin and for the concentration 1 molar concentration, and these values will hold good in the case of the concentration of the electrolytes are 1 molar. If they are different, then the electrode potential of the electrode and also the EMF of the cell will differ. So to calculate the EMF of the cell and the electrode potentials when the concentration of the solution is not 1 molar, we use Nernst equation. Now let's see how to derive that Nernst equation and how to do problems based on that equations. See, I told you dependence of EMF on concentration of electrolyte and temperature. So the EMF of the cell depends upon the concentration of the solution, and when the concentration is not 1 molar, we use Nernst equation to calculate the EMF. So for a general reduction reaction, we are taking a reduction reaction. What is a reduction reaction? Addition of electrons. I'm taking ion m per n plus, and how many electrons are added? N electron. If it is m2 plus, here it would be 2 electrons. So m is the metal, m n plus in aqueous reacting with n electrons to give you m solid. So this is the general reduction reaction. So for this, the Nernst equation is written as E is equal to E naught minus RT by NF ln concentration of the metal solid divided by concentration of the ions in the aqueous solution. So we are not going to go deep into this derivation. We are going to see how to derive an equation to calculate the EMF of the cell when the concentration is not 1 molar. So now see, what is this E? E is the electrode potential under given conditions. And what is E naught? E naught is the electrode potential at standard condition. What is R? R is the gas constant, and the value is taken to be 8.314 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse, that is R. And what is T? Temperature in Kelvin. And what is N? N is the number of electrons involved. If it is 2 electron, then N would be equal to 2. And F is 1 Faraday, and it is taken to be 96,500 coulomb mole inverse. And ln is the natural logarithm, and this is the molar concentration of the metal, and whenever you take a solid, the molar concentration is taken to be 1. What is Mn plus the square bracket? This is the molar concentration of the ions in solution. We used to write 0.01 mole, 0.02 mole, whatever the concentration of the solution that in molar, that is taken to be here. So now ln is the natural logarithm. If you are taking natural logarithm, and if you want to change it into log to the base 10, you have to multiply it with 2.303 log 10. So look here, E is equal to E naught minus, see this RT and NF are here, same values, variables are written here, but what is multiplied here? 2.303. So instead of ln, you are writing log, and as such you are writing concentration, molar concentration of the metal by molar concentration of the ions in solution. Now if you are substituting the values of R, T and F, what is R? 8.314 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. And what is F? It is also a constant, which is 96,500 coulomb mole inverse. What is T? You're taking the standard condition to be 298 Kelvin. So you're taking the temperature to be 298 Kelvin. If you are substituting all these values here, your equation becomes E is equal to E naught minus 2.303 into, this is the R value, this is T value, N into F value, Faraday, log 1, because I told you molar concentration of solid is taken to be 1 divided by molar concentration of the ions in solution. So if you calculate this, you will get 0.0591. So divided by n log the same value. So this is the Nernst equation to calculate EMF of the cell when the concentration is not 1 molar. Other than 1 molar, the concentration can be anything. So what is E? EMF of the cell at the electrode potential of the cell at the given condition. E naught is the electrode potential under standard condition. So far we have been solving a lot of examples. How to calculate this E naught cell? E cathode minus E anode minus 0.0591 divided by N. N is the number of electrons involved, log 1 divided by concentration of the ions in solution. So with the help of Nernst equation, we can calculate the reduction potential of an electrode at given concentration of the ions. Any given concentration that will be substituted here, provided its E naught value is known. If you know the E naught value, how can you get the E naught value? We have the electrochemical series where we have the list of values which we calculated using standard hydrogen electrode. So knowing that value, you can calculate the EMF of the cell for any given concentration. Now let's apply this equation to few examples. See, you have to note down one thing here. Here this E stands for the reduction potential of an electrode. This is not EMF of the cell. When you're talking about EMF of the cell, you have to combine both the half cells, which means both the concentration should be written here. And we are yet to derive that equation, but this equation you're going to use for calculating the reduction potential, where we have seen the electrochemical series where we have written standard electrode potentials for zinc, for copper, for mercury, where the concentration is 1 molar. If you want the electrode potential for the same zinc, copper and mercury, when the concentration is not 1 molar, we are using this equation. But to calculate the EMF of the cell, we will derive one more equation from this equation. Now let's apply this equation to calculate the reduction potential of a given electrode at a given concentration. Now read this question. Calculate the reduction potential for the following half cell reaction. See, when you're taking just the half cell, then we can calculate what? Reduction potential. When you're taking the entire cell by combining two half cells, then we talk about EMF of the cell. But here we are talking about the reduction potential. And the given half cell is Ag plus electron giving you Ag. And the concentration of Ag plus is given as 0.1 molar and the E naught value is 0.80 volt. Now this E naught value for Ag is when the concentration is 1 molar. So using that E naught, we are calculating the electrode potential of Ag when the concentration is 0.1 molar. So according to Nernst equation, E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 by N log 1 by concentration of the ions in solution. But here what ions we are taking? Ag plus. So E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 by N log 1 by concentration of Ag plus ions in solution. See, E is also electrode potential, E naught is also electrode potential, but this is E naught is standard electrode potential. This is electrode potential at the given concentration. So we are using the standard electrode potential of silver to find out the electrode potential of silver for this concentration. So now look here, what is the E naught value? 0.80 minus 0.0591 by N. What is N? 1 electron. So 1 log 1 divided by, what is the concentration given? 0.1. So this is the concentration. So always remember, keep these two parts as such and do this calculation separately and then multiply this value with this value and then subtract from this value. Now I'll show you this part, how to do the calculation. Now here it is log 1 divided by 0.1. When it is division, when you apply log, you can change it into subtraction. So log 1 minus log 0.1. So log 1 minus log, this is 0.1 is 1 by 10, which can be written as 10 power minus 1. So log 1 minus log 10 power minus 1. And you know, for applying log, when there is a power, you can multiply it here. So log 1 minus minus log 10. So minus into minus becomes plus. So plus log 10. So log 1 plus log 10. Log 1 value is 0. Log 10 value is 1, which will be equal to 1. So you're putting 1 here. So multiply these two values and then subtract from here. Here it is 1, so no problem. If it is some other value, so do this multiplication part and then subtract from 0.80. So 0.80 minus 0.0591 will give you 0.741 volt. This is the E cell, which for the half cell reaction. So we are calculating reduction potential. So when we started deriving this Nernst equation, we actually applied it to the half cell and we are deriving for what? The reduction potential for that half cell. Now let's see how to calculate the EMF of the cell with the help of Nernst equation. Don't get confused with EMF and the electrode potential. Electrode potential is for the half cell. Here EMF is for the cell after combining the half cell. Now consider the reaction taking place in Daniell cell. See, anode, cathode. This is what happens in Daniell cell. Zn, Zn2 plus, Cu2 plus to Cu. Now applying Nernst equation for this half cell, how will you write the equation? E Zn plus Zn is equal to E naught Zn2 plus Zn minus 0.0591 by N log 1 by Zn2 plus concentration. This is one equation. Now apply the same Nernst equation to this half cell to calculate the E cell, because the concentration is not 1 molar. So we are applying Nernst equation. So E Cu2 plus Cu is equal to E naught Cu2 plus bar Cu minus the same thing log 1 by concentration of Cu2 plus ions. Now you're going to subtract 1 from 2. So 2 minus 1 is equal to will give you E cell equal, see, this minus this, which means E cathode minus E anode. We know E naught cathode minus E naught anode will give you E naught cell, which is under standard condition. Same way, E cathode minus E anode under given concentration will also give you E cell. So E cell is equal to E naught cell. Again, what you are subtracting? E naught cathode minus E naught anode. E naught cell minus 0.0591 by N log Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus. So this is the Nernst equation for calculating EMF of the cell. So generally you can take E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.0591 by N log concentration of ions at anode by concentration of ions at cathode. Now let's try to solve a problem based on this. Then you will have a clear picture about this Nernst equation. Represent the cell in which the following reaction takes place. Mg plus 2 Ag plus, and the concentration is given, giving you Mg2 plus, again the concentration is given, plus 2 Ag solid. And the question is, calculate its E cell if E naught cell is equal to 3.17 volt. So they given you the E naught value. If the E naught value is not given directly, they would have given you the E naught value of Mg and Ag. From that values, you should calculate E naught cell by E cathode minus E anode. Here it is directly given. Now represent the cell. I've told you, when any question is asked in electrochemistry, if the cell reaction is given, try to represent the cell. So see, Mg is converted into Mg2 plus, which means this is the cathode, anode reaction. So anode is represented first, and I told you already you have to put the concentration of Mg2 plus in the bracket. Salt bridge. Here Ag plus is converted into Ag. This is cathode half reaction. Here also you have to put the concentration. Now apply the Nernst equation. So we have to write according to Nernst equation, E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.0591 by N log concentration of anode ions by cathode ions. See, this is anode Mg2 plus, cathode Ag plus. If you have any coefficients here, you have to put it in the power. See here, 2 Ag plus, so put square. And now what is the E cell value? You're going to use this formula to find out the E cell value. What is the E naught cell value, which is already given? 3.17. So 3.17 minus 0.0591 by, what is the N value? 2 plus. Here also plus, but 2. So 2 plus. So N value is 2 electrons. So 2 log concentration of Mg2 plus is 0.130. Concentration of Ag plus is 0.001. Don't forget the square. So that would be equal to 3.17 minus, when you divide these two values, you're getting 0.02955 log 0.130 by, when you multiply this, you will get what? 10 power minus 8, right? How do you get 10 power minus 8? You will get 0.6 zeros and then you'll get you'll get 8 zeros and 1, so 10 power minus 8. And now I've told you you should do this log part separately and then multiply with this value and then subtract. Now when you take this log 0.130, this 0.130 can be written as 1.3 into 10 power minus 1, because taking log for 1 point or 13 point is easier than 0 point for doing this calculation. So you're changing this into 1.3. So you're moving this decimal to here. So I'm putting into 10 to the power minus 1. Now when you bring this 10 power minus 8 to the numerator, minus will become plus. So you have 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 1. Why you got minus 1 here? For moving the decimal of this from here to here, into 10 to the power 8. So 8 minus 1 will be 7. So 1.3 into 10 to the power 7. And remember, there's an easy way to do the calculation part for this log. You leave this 10 power 7, take log for 1.3. See, log 1.3, I've told you, if there is one value before the decimal, you will put 0. 0 point, and look in the log table for 13 0. In the values, when you look in the log tables, in this side you will have the values. There you have to see 13, and here in the other tabular columns you have to see 0 value. So for 13 0, you will get 1139. So the log value for 1.3 is 0.1139. So log 1.3 into 10 to the power 7. I told you keep this 10 power 7. After getting this value, put the 7 in the place of 0. So 7.1139 will be the log value for this. So whatever power you have, put that power in this. If you have 12, put here 12.1139. If it is 6, put 6.1139. So whatever power value you have, you put here 7.1139. So now coming back here, E cell is equal to 3.17 minus, multiply this with this value. See, 0.0222955 into 7.1139. So that gives you the value of 0.21, and then subtract it from 3.17. So you get a EMF of value 2.96 volt. Please do it step by step. Without doing this calculation, if you're subtracting and multiplying, you will get a wrong answer. So do the log part, multiply with this value, and then subtract the entire value from this E naught cell value. So this is how you have to find out the EMF of the cell using Nernst equation when the concentration of the ions is not 1 molar. So to calculate E cell using Nernst equation, we are using the E naught cell value, which we calculated using standard hydrogen electrode. Now let's move on to the next topic, equilibrium constant. So how to calculate equilibrium constant from Nernst equation. So we are going to calculate equilibrium constant from Nernst equation. So before that, we have studied equilibrium constant in grade 11. For a reaction at equilibrium, equilibrium constant, which is represented as Kc, is defined as the product of the concentration of the products divided by the product of the concentration of the reactants. So that is equilibrium constant. So we are taking the redox reaction taking place in a cell. So this is the redox reaction, Zn solid plus Cu2 plus, giving you Zn2 plus Cu solid. Here a state of equilibrium is reached, which means the forward and the backward reaction are taking place at the same rate. So for this reaction, how to write Kc? I told you Kc is nothing but the product of the concentration of the products divided by product of the concentration of the reactants. So what are the products here? Zn2 plus Cu. So the concentration of Zn2 plus into concentration of Cu. So product of the products divided by what are the reactants here? Zn solid, Cu2 plus. So product of the reactants. Now here we have already seen the molar concentration of the solid is taken to be 1. So this will be equal to 1. and this will also be equal to 1. So Kc becomes Zn2 plus concentration by Cu2 plus concentration. Now let's take Nernst equation. For Nernst equation, we know E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by 2F log Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus for this equation, anode by cathode. So this is the Nernst equation for this equation, and we know here the equilibrium has reached. So when the equilibrium has reached, E cell will become 0. So E cell is equal to 0. So putting that 0 here, this will be equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by number of electrons is 2. So 2F log Zn2 plus aqueous by Cu2 plus aqueous. This is at equilibrium, because equilibrium has reached the concentration at equilibrium. We are putting EQ here. So this can be rewritten as E naught cell is equal to, this minus will become plus if it comes to the other side, 2.303 RT by 2F log Kc, because this part is Kc. So Kc is Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus concentration. So instead of this, you are writing log Kc. So for general representation, E naught cell is equal to 2.303 by NF. F is Faraday log Kc. So you can calculate standard reduction potential from the equilibrium constant value. So for deriving that equation, we are using the Nernst equation. So this is for the log to the base 10. In your book, it would have given like natural logarithm. So you can remove this 2.303 log, and instead of that, you can put ln Kc. So E naught cell is equal to, okay, the general getting this value here, instead of writing it in this way, if you want to go with the first equation that we wrote for Nernst equation, where we didn't apply the gas constant, temperature and Faraday, this would be the form of the reaction for this, without applying the values, substituting the values. So E naught cell is equal to RT by NF ln Kc. So at 298 Kelvin, where we are taking the T temperature to be 298 Kelvin, and you know R value is 8.314 Joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse, and Faraday is 96,500. If you substitute all these values here, you are getting E naught cell is equal to 0.0591 by N log Kc. So we are substituting all this value. So here also you can substitute. So instead of this 2.303 log, we are taking it to be ln, natural logarithm. So RT is the same, RT by NF ln Kc. So you are substituting all the values, you are getting E naught cell is equal to 0.0591 by N log Kc, or log Kc is equal to N by 0.0591 into E naught cell. So you need not go with all these derivations. You will not be asked to derive anything. You should know this formula to apply to do the problems. So now let's apply this formula and try to solve a problem. Calculate the equilibrium constant, which is Kc, for the cell reaction. They have given you a cell reaction and they have given you the E naught value 0.46, and they are asking you to calculate equilibrium constant. Just now we have derived this formula, log Kc is equal to N E naught cell by 0.0591. What is N value? Number of ions involved, 2. 2 into E naught cell value is given 0.46 divided by 0.0591. So you're getting an answer of 15.6. Now log Kc is equal to 15.6, but I want Kc value. So Kc is equal to anti-log of 15.6. So here also we have an easy way. Do you remember how we had 10 power 7, we put that as 7.1139 in the previous problem? Same way, if you are taking anti-log for 15.6, leave this 15. Put that 15 as 10 power 15. Whatever value you have before the decimal, while taking the anti-log, put it in the power, 10 power 15. Now take anti-log for 0.6. So anti-log of 0.6 is equal to 398. When you look at the anti-log 060, the value would be 398. So 398, when the value is 0, if you're taking anti-log for 0.6, you have to look for only for the 6, not for the value before the decimal. So when you're writing, taking anti-log, you're looking for 60, 0. The value would be 398. Now place the decimal by looking at the value before the decimal. Here you have 0, so place the decimal just after one value. So 3.98 is the answer. So the answer would be 3.98 into 10 to the power 15. I'll show you one more example how to do the anti-log part. Look at this example. Calculate the equilibrium constant for the reaction at 298 Kelvin. So they've given you a reaction and they've given you E naught for Z10 2 plus Z10 and E naught for Cu 2 plus Cu 0.34 volt. Now the question is to calculate equilibrium constant. Log Kc is equal to n E naught cell divided by 0.0591. What is the n value? 2 electrons, so 2. And E naught cell, in the previous question they have given you directly. Here they have given you the cathode and the anode. This is cathode, this is anode. So from the values you know which is cathode and which is anode. Smaller value anode. So E cathode minus E anode, 0.34 minus 0.76, you're getting 1.1 volt. So that is the E naught value. So 2 into 1.1 divided by 0.0591, you're getting 37.22. I have told you this value, put it in the power. So 10 power 37. For looking into the table for anti-log, look for 0.22. So when you are looking for 0.22, always remember for taking anti-log, whatever value you have before the decimal, you will not look into the table. Leave that value, look for the value after the decimal. If it is 22 after the decimal, look in the tabular column for 22, 0. You will get a value of 166. See? Anti-log value for 22 is 166. Now place the decimal looking at the value before the decimal. Here again before the decimal you have 0. So put the decimal after one digit. So 1.66. 1.66. So 1.66 into 10 to the power 37 is the Kc value. I've taught you these log tables and anti-logs in grade 11. If you have any doubts, I'll put a video for grade 11. You can refer that video for those doubts for using log tables and doing the calculation. Now let's move on to the last topic, electrochemical cell and Gibbs free energy. We have studied in grade 11 in thermodynamics. This Gibbs free energy, which is represented as delta G, is used to predict whether a reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Now let's see how we can apply this Gibbs free energy to the electrochemical cell. Look at this statement. The electrical work or electrical energy produced is equal to the product of EMF of the cell and the electrical charge which flows through the cell. So when you're talking about the work done, that will be equal to the EMF of the cell and the amount of quantity of electric charge that is flowing through the cell. So that can be represented as W electrical is equal to minus E cell into Q. So what is this W? It is the electrical work or electrical energy produced, and that is equal to the EMF of the cell, and this is the electrical charge which flows through the cell. And now what is this Q? How to represent this Q? If N is the number of moles of electrons transferred in the redox reaction of the cell, the quantity of electric charge that flows through the external circuit is given as Q is equal to N into F. N is the number of electrons that is transferred during the redox reaction and F is the Faraday, and it is nothing but the charge of 1 mole of electrons. So you can substitute the Q value here. So this equation becomes W electrical is equal to minus NF E cell. Instead of Q we are putting NF, and the reason why we are putting a negative here, because it indicates that the work is done by the system on the surroundings. That's the reason why we're putting a negative here. And now coming to the main topic, free energy change. So Gibbs free energy is represented as G and free energy change is represented as delta G. For a process occurring at constant temperature and pressure is the measure of useful work that can be obtained. So when we studied thermodynamics in grade 12, we have seen that delta G is the measure of useful work that can be obtained. So mathematically you can represent delta G is equal to minus W. And now here we are talking about electrical work done. So you can equate this work to the electrical work done. So that is equal to minus NF E cell. So what is free energy change and its relationship with the work done by an electrochemical cell? Del G is equal to minus NF E cell. When I started this, I told you Gibbs free energy change helps you to predict whether a reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. And you know, when delta G value is negative, then the reaction is spontaneous. When it is positive, the reaction will be non-spontaneous. So we have derived delta G is equal to minus NF E cell. And you have to note one thing here. When we talk about these properties, we use the term intensive property and extensive property. When we say intensive property, we mean that that property does not depend upon the amount of matter. If the property depends upon the amount of matter, then we call that as an extensive property. Here E cell is an intensive property, which means it does not depend upon the amount of property, but delta G is an extensive property, which means its value depends upon the N value. What is N? Number of electrons involved. So when the number of electrons involved changes, del G value also changes. So we say del G is an extensive property. Now let's see an example to understand this. Look at this redox reaction. Zaton solid plus Cu2 plus aqueous giving you Zaton2 plus Cu solid, which means Zaton is getting oxidized to Zaton2 plus and Cu2 plus is reduced to Cu. So for this, delta G is equal to, use this formula, minus NF E cell. What is N here? 2 electrons are involved. So minus 2F E cell is the del G value. Now coming to this equation where we have the coefficients 2 Zaton plus 2 Cu2 plus giving you 2 Zaton2 plus 2 Cu. Now what will be del G here? 2 into 2, 4 electrons are involved. So N is equal to 4. So del G will be equal to minus 4 F E cell. So here it is minus 2F, here minus 4F E cell. So the del G value depends upon the value of N, which is the number of electrons involved in the redox reaction. So del G is a extensive property, whereas E cell is an intensive property. So when we are talking about standard free energy change, we have already seen what is standard electrode potential and we represent that as E naught cell. So when we say standard free energy change, we mean that we are using standard electrode potential. So del G naught, which is the standard free energy, will be equal to minus NF. Instead of E cell, we are writing E naught cell. So what is the purpose of using this del G? Del G helps you to predict the feasibility of the reaction. So now we have already derived an equation to calculate Kc from E naught cell. So this is that equation. E naught cell is equal to RT by NF ln Kc. So what we are going to do now, we are going to take this equation and instead of E naught cell, we are going to substitute this part. So what will happen? Del G naught is equal to minus NF, keep it as such. Instead of E naught cell, substitute this value, RT NF ln Kc. So that would be equal to RT minus RT ln Kc, because this NF and this NF gets cancelled. So you get minus RT ln Kc, or you can write del G naught is equal to RT ln Kc or minus 2.303 RT log Kc. So instead of ln, I've told you, if you are converting it into log to the base 10, you have to multiply it with 2.303. So minus 2.303 RT log Kc. So you can calculate del G value from E naught cell using this formula, or you can calculate del G naught value from Kc using this formula. So now let's see a few problems based on what we have learned so far. The question is, the standard electrode potential for Daniell cell is 1.1 volt. Calculate the standard Gibbs energy for the reaction. So they have given you E naught cell and asking you to calculate del G. So this is the equation, and what is given? E naught cell 1.1 volt. And now the solution, you know the formula, del G naught is equal to minus NF E naught cell. And what is N value? Number of electrons involved is 2. So minus 2 into the F value is 96,500. In your textbook, they would have used 96,487. So you can use either values, and Coulomb mole inverse is the unit. And what is the E naught cell? 1.1 volt. So when you multiply that, you get the answer minus 21,227 joule mole inverse. So the unit is joule mole inverse for Gibbs free energy, but we usually express the value in kilojoule mole inverse. So divide this value by 1000, so you get minus 21.227 kilojoule mole inverse. And remember one thing, when del G naught value is negative, then the reaction is spontaneous. And one more thing, when E naught cell value is positive, then also the reaction will be spontaneous, because when E naught cell is positive, then only you will get the del G value to be negative. When E naught cell is negative, and negative will become positive, del G naught will become positive, then that makes the reaction non-spontaneous. So remember, when del G naught value is negative, the reaction is spontaneous. Same way, when E naught cell value is positive, the reaction is spontaneous. So far, we have seen a Nernst equation, how to calculate E cell using Nernst equation, and how to calculate Kc from E naught cell, and also how to calculate del G naught from E naught cell and also from Kc. So now let's solve few problems based on that. Write each half cell reaction and the cell reaction for the following electrochemical cell. So they've given you a cell representation and asking you to write the half cell reaction and the overall reaction for this. So this is anode and this side is cathode. So Al3 plus, Zn2 plus, Zn. So what happens at anode? Oxidation. And what happens at cathode? Reduction. So how will you represent the cell? Anode and then cathode. Now see, oxidation half reaction will be Al solid changing into Al3 plus, losing 3 electrons, which means Al is undergoing oxidation. And what will be reduction half reaction? Zn2 plus getting reduced to Zn by taking 2 electrons. So now we have oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. So before writing the overall cell reaction, I told you already these electrons should get cancelled out. But here we have 3 electrons, here you have 2 electrons. So to make it equal, you are multiplying this with 2 and this equation with 3. So you will get 3Al giving you 2Al giving you 2Al3 plus 6 electrons. Same way, multiplying this equation by 3, you get 3 Zn2 plus 6 electrons giving you 3 Zn. So 6 electrons and 6 electrons will get cancelled, and you write the overall cell reaction. 2Al solid plus 3 Zn2 plus aqueous giving you 2Al3 plus 3 Zn solid. And the next question, can 1 molar ZnSO4 be stored in a copper vessel? And they have given you E naught value of Zn, which means the standard reduction potential of Zn, and also the standard reduction potential of copper. And now the question is, can 1 molar ZnSO4 solution can be stored in a copper vessel? We have already seen a problem with iron and nickel. Same way, see, here the vessel is copper and the solution is ZnSO4, which means copper, here we have it in the metallic form Cu, and in zinc sulfate solution we have zinc in Zn2 plus. So I have Zn2 plus and Cu, and look at the values. Who has got more tendency to undergo oxidation? The lesser the value will have more tendency to undergo oxidation. So zinc has more tendency to undergo oxidation. But what do we have? We don't have Zn, we have Zn2 plus, and we have Cu, not Cu2 plus. So compared to Cu and Zn, Zn only has the more tendency to undergo oxidation. Cu will be as such. So it's not going to be changed into any other form, I mean reduced form or oxidized form. So you can safely store ZnSO4 solution in copper vessel. But think of the reverse one. If you are storing a copper sulfate solution in zinc vessel, then that would be a problem, because you have Zn metal and Cu2 plus ion. Zn has more tendency to undergo oxidation because that would become a spontaneous reaction. So Zn would automatically lose 2 electrons and become Zn2 plus, and Cu2 plus will take that electron and change into Cu. So the copper sulfate solution will not be with its nature if you store it in the zinc vessel. But you can safely store zinc sulfate solution in a copper vessel. Now this is an example question given in your textbook 3.4. Calculate the potential of hydrogen electrode in contact with a solution whose pH is 10. So they are asking you to calculate the E naught value of this hydrogen electrode which is in contact with a solution, and they didn't give you the concentration of that solution. Instead they have given you pH. So to calculate the electrode potential, you need the concentration. So first let's see how to calculate the concentration of H plus ions from the pH. Now see, they have given pH is equal to 10 and you have studied pH is equal to negative logarithm of H plus ions. Now I want the concentration of H plus ions to substitute here in the Nernst equation. So concentration of H plus will be equal to, if this log goes here, that becomes anti-log. So the negative log coming this side is becoming negative anti-log of pH. So what is the pH? 10. So negative anti-log of 10. So always remember, when you have any negative value and a whole number here, you can put that in the power. It is an easy way of finding anti-log. So concentration of H plus will be equal to 10 power minus 10. So negative logarithm of 10 will be equal to 10 power minus 10. And same way, if you want the negative anti-log of 7, then 10 power minus 7. If you want negative anti-log of 8, 10 power minus 8. So here the concentration of H plus is equal to 10 power minus 10. So when the concentration is not 1 molar, then you apply Nernst equation when the concentration is different. Now the concentration is 10 power minus 10. So applying Nernst equation, E cell is equal to H plus slash half H2. See, H plus is changed into, reduced to H2. So represent that way, because we are talking about reduction potential, will be equal to, we have studied in Nernst equation, E naught cell minus 0.0591 by N log 1 by H plus ions. Because ions are involved here, we are talking only about the half cell. If it is the complete cell combined by made by combining two half cells, then you use both the concentrations. But here we are talking only about the half cell. So you are writing 1 by concentration of H plus. Now you know E naught of standard hydrogen electrode is 0. So 0 minus 0.0591 by number of electrons involved is 1. 1 log 1 by 10 power minus 10. Because we have just found the concentration of H plus to be 10 power minus 10. So 0 minus 0.0591 into log 10 power 10. You are bringing it to the numerator. So the negative becomes positive. So 10 power 10. So I've told you, if there is a power, you can in the log, you can multiply that before the log. So 10 log 10. What is the log 10 value? Log 10 value is equal to 1. So 10 into 1 will be equal to 10. So minus 0.0591 into 10 is equal to minus 0.591 volt. See, this is 0.0591 multiplied by 10, you are getting minus 0.591. So you have to be careful while placing the decimals and reporting the answers.